Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat, and I have got my paper pumpkin box, but I am not going to do something normal. In fact, I'm just going to take those for the moment, close it up and put it away again. So I've got a piece of white cardstock. Now it's actually just a textured cardstock that I got from Hobbycraft, so it's nothing particularly special or clever. But I am going to create a bit of a background in the middle and then use the panel. And I might actually create a thing all over it and then use more of it, but I'm not sure. And I thought it'd be fun for you to see what I was doing and play along. So I'm taking an acrylic block and I'm taking the Just Jade ink pad, little stamping spot, and I'm giving it a bit of a tap all over. Then I'm going to take some water spray and give it a bit of a spritz, sort of 2 spritzes, and then I'm just going to lay it down like so and start to create a bit of a background. So you can see as you go along you get less of an imprint, but that's absolutely fine. Probably will mix some other colours in. I won't just use Just Jade, very probably, but we'll see how we get on. So I'm just going to go over there and again here, start to tap it off. As I say, if I use another colour, I might use Mossy Meadow actually, it will just give me some variation, a little bit more than just giving it oh, that's lovely, isn't it? I love how this, it's just completely organic. It's going to do whatever it does. I'm just going to keep adding to these paler ones as well. It's such a simple technique and takes virtually no effort whatsoever to create something completely organic and different every single time. And I love how as they start to dry, they create a different effect again. I think that's probably enough of that one. So I am going to take a little bit of a Mossy Meadow just to add in a little bit of variation, but this time I'm going a lot lighter with my inking up of the acrylic paint. In fact, you can probably barely see that. I promise you there's stuff there, as you will see as I start to lay it down. But it's just going to add a little bit of additional texture and colour to some of those paler ones. But I really am putting very little of that on because I know it's quite a strong colour normally. It's just going to add that bit of a different colour to some of those panels. I think one more go with the Mossy Meadow. I added quite a lot of water to the Mossy Meadow because again because it's such a strong colour, I think it just helps to give it that variation. And there we go. So there is our really fun and soft background because it's quite because it's got the watercolour effect to it. It's quite yeah, it's quite soft and mellow kind of feeling to it. English has disappeared today. Don't know what's going on. Right, now what we're going to do is start adding in a little bit of stamping. So I'm actually going to go with the wreath stamp from the set and add that to there, and then get my Just Jade out again. What you could do with doing is making sure that this is dry, which it isn't. So I'm going to dry it off, but I shall just pause whilst I do so. Okay, so I've given that a dry with my heat tool. Yeah, all dry now. One of the things I would say is if you're doing this technique, you do quite often end up with very green hands, or whatever colour ink you're using. In this case, I seem to have been quite lucky, but that's normally the case, is that I would end up with quite green hands. So going back to the Just Jade, I'm going to just start stamping Do you know what? This would look really pretty. Just the little squares on their own. I'm just thinking. Ah. See, that's what happens if you play, which is exactly what I'm doing. I had a plan, as in I knew I wanted to create a bit of a messy mixed media background, but my thought wasn't on what the final product would be and how it would look. I just wanted to use this kit in a very different way. And yes, I know I've just added in another ink colour, but even without adding in the other ink colour, I think that I've just created an idea for what I will do as a standalone card. And I might share that with you off screen. Can't work out. I don't want it to be that I'm stamping in every single square for this. That's not what's appealing to me. I'm thinking stamping some squares, this, and in other squares maybe the flower or the wording. Just love it, love it. No idea what it looks like on the camera, but it looks fun in real life. And I think we'll just go for the joy word for the moment. I might come back to using something else. We might get a little bit of embossing powder going as well. Not quite sure yet. I think we might go with maybe the flower at this point. Or do we want to put this big sentiment here? Well, that might be nice. I think I need a different size block though, because that's not going to fit. Okay, so it's not a Stampin' Up block, but never mind, doesn't really matter. This is actually a Clarity Stamps one. I've had my set of Clarity Stamps ones for ages, and I think that they're fab for larger stamps because they're lightweight, so you don't have a massive amount of weight to carry in your hands. You're better inking them off the edge of a table, but you can't see them, so I'll stick to putting it up here because I have snapped one or two of them by doing it this way, but I have a fair number. Right, I think that the starting point is fabulous, and maybe that way around. Yeah, I think it's that way around. Maybe that's a good start. I think we could possibly now start trimming this down. And I think we've possibly got 2 cards worth here, maybe a little bit more. But I'm going to trim it down so it's not quite at the edge, so that the inky bit's going over. See how that's got ink along the edge of it? So it means that this is into the pattern already. I think we will do the same here, because obviously I didn't put those blocks down completely straight. It's not going to be a straight edge anyway. We are going to go with the best that we can here, which is probably just cut off a little bit of one of the wreaths, but that's okay. Oh, I think we may have a square card going on here. I think that might be better as a square panel. This could be 2 separate panels, I think. we got going on with this one? Let's trim it at the bottom. And then the side. It's quite a lot more difficult because that sentiment goes quite wide across. Might need to do a bit of inking work on that. But there we go. We've done a bit of trimming. Again, I'm wondering whether that would look better as a square card. I don't think I actually like the fact that I've got those two there and this is two kind of light ones. Just put that down a bit. Yeah, I think that's fine. This could be one panel still, I think, but we just trim the edge off a bit. There we go. See. So we've got a few different panels here that are going to create nice card focal points. So now, how am I going to use these? Let's have a look. Let's see if I can use any of it with one of the card blanks in the kit. How that looks. So I'm thinking that panel looks like so. How does that look? Don't know if it looks a little bit too rustic with the shininess of this. Not sure. We might need to go for a separate card blank for this then. Don't know. I wonder what it's like if I put some of the red behind it or from the envelope inside. So you'll have seen this if you've watched any of my other videos, is the envelopes in this kit come with a fabulous inside. Too fabulous for an envelope in my opinion. So we're going to trim that off immediately. So I'm going to go like that because it's quicker than getting out the other paper trimmer. I think we'll go with this width and maybe a now it's starting to look okay. Joy. And then we might want to put to you and yours on a little tab, maybe. Let's see what we've got. One of those, maybe. You think? Okay, so I think that that's good to go. I'm wondering about maybe edging it a little. So I've done this on another card as well. I'm wondering whether it go red. No, let's go green. Don't upset the apple cart, Catherine. Let's keep with the green colour for this bit. I think I've got an idea of how I'm going to add a bit more red in there. Firstly, we've got that gorgeous twine that we might use, but also I'm wondering whether we stamp the berries onto this too or not. Don't know, but I think we have some options is the thing. I'm also wondering whether whether we actually just take that lighter Just Jade Stampin' Blends, maybe just colour in those leaves, just adds a bit more definition. Well, definitely not disliking it, and now I've started, I need to finish. Okay, I'm liking that. It's quite cute. Still not 100% convinced by the whole gold with the kind of the rustic thing. I'm wondering whether I add more rustic, more gold, or what. So if I was to add a bit more gold, what would that look like? Would we be adding that underneath there maybe? What would that look like? Not sure. Maybe we'd want to add it as, ignoring the bit coming out the top, maybe a little bit of extra gold going there. That might work. Right, well, let's just snip that off. Let's use the least amount possible. Stick that under there. That's nice, like that. I do think we need some red. So, ooh, this is where it risks. Because could ruin it all now. Could ruin it all. Just warning you all. Could ruin it all. So I've got Cherry Cobbler in quite an old Stampin' Up ink pad. In fact, I'm going to use a different stamp block because they are tiny, these little dot berry type stamps. So I don't want to go wibble wobble on it. So I'm going to use this Clarity one. Okay. No, I'm happy with it. Fortunately, I'm happy with it. It's not the darkest Cherry Cobbler, I have to admit, that I've got. I don't know whether it's running out or whether this is the colour now. Looks a bit darker than I remember it being. Happy with that. I think it just adds that little touch of red that I was looking for. I think I'm happy with the gold now. It's just, do we want to add a little bit of twine as well? It seems we love this twine. If we add a little bow, just a teensy bow, maybe. She says, seemingly incapable of there we go, of doing a bow then. I always laugh at some of my friends for being quite bow challenged, they call it. And that was me having a bow challenged moment. Cute, 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 cute. Right, I want one of those little adhesive dots for the bow. So let's stick that there. Then we know that that's going on there. Perfect. I'm going to stick these things down, then decide whether I'm going for dimensionals or not. And if I am, what am I going for dimensionals with? Right. Do I go flat and then dimensional? I think we'll go with a longer strip of the sideways ones for this. And we will go for that bottom edge being the solid bit of a sticker, because then we can hang it over the edge of that. So do we go, I think we go there. So do we go flat or do we go dimensional? What do we think? I think we go flat and we just stick that little bit of the sentiment up, being dimensional. There we go. So something a little bit different from the paper pumpkin kit, gone a bit artsy and a bit rustic and grungy with the design there. Obviously I had loads of fun making it, but I've also got all these things left here, and I'm thinking that something like a single one like that or a single one like that would make a really pretty main focal point on a clean and simple card. So I'm thinking that might be a good idea. I'm thinking that these would make really nice cards for big square cards if I found the right mounts for them. But for the moment I'm just going to leave them in the box because I think I've done enough crafting for today on this. I'm really happy with that. Really happy with that. I think it was just an idea that I had, was to just go and get playing with the ink rather than going anything that was sort of prescribed or anything like that, and then just use some of those elements that were still in the box to finish off the card. So in terms of what I've added, I suppose what I added a little bit of a different colour green, because I added a little bit of mossy meadow into that panel at the back, just because I felt it needed a bit of variation and a bit of a different finish, colour finish. It's actually gone a little bit limey coloured, the mossy meadow, which is really odd, but it's because I watered it down a lot, otherwise it's a very strong colour. What else have I added? I added some cherry cobbler ink in order to stamp the berries. That's it. That's all I've added, I think, that isn't in the kit already. And obviously just use some bits, oh, the white cardstock. To be honest, you could possibly, although it helps if it's a thicker cardstock if you're adding watery type stuff to it, but you could use the leftover bits of the envelope if needs be. But yeah, so there's a very different paper pumpkin alternative, but mainly using bits from the kit, not using anything else. I love that little bow, so cute, so cute. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed playing. I've done quite well. So Inky Finger Cat is not too inky, so she's not on too badly, which is good because I've got work tomorrow. I don't want to have to scrub my hands all night. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please do give me a thumbs up and comment below. Drop me a comment below so I know what you're saying and what you're thinking. Or just say hi. Subscribe if you want to see more. I've had a complete run on doing paper pumpkin cards in the last few videos because I've really enjoyed playing with this kit. I've still got one card blank left, which means there's potentially at least one more card out of the kit. There's loads of supplies left though, and obviously I've just showed you ways of using it completely differently, just using mainly the stamps and some ink. But I say, hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, take care, bye bye.